Look how it says it's
You
showtime.
are live. Hello, friends.
Hi.
Already there's people here. I love it. Hi, guys. Mia and Amy and Karen and Tula. You guys are awesome. And Jewel, hello. How was everybody's Saturday? Welcome, welcome. Mia and Amy and Karen and Tula. Oh, I can hear myself.
Yeah, I could do that too. There we go. I had to mute it. That's better.
Jewel had a lazy day. I love it. Lazy Saturdays are totally fine.
Those are my favorites.
Hi, everybody. Welcome, Nicole and Lisa and Jamie. And lovable reader, I forgot your first name. I'm the worst. Oh no, I was going to try to remember it, but hi, Sarah. Hi, Catherine. Hey, Rainy. As you can see, we are joined tonight by the lovely Tiffany.
Hello.
From Beautiful Minutia. She's awesome. And joining us for our sprints tonight.
Yay.
So we're just going to chat and read, and then chat some more, and then read some more, back and forth. Of course, during the reading sprints, you can be productive in whatever way you need to be. If you need to go wash the dishes or throw in a load of laundry or work on your bullet journal or whatever you need to do, they can be productivity sprints as well. But I think we are both. Are you just reading tonight or are you doing other stuff too?
I am just reading tonight. I really am behind on my TBR.
This is why I've loved not making the TBR for the last couple months. Well, I don't feel like I'm behind.
I did like a book bingo thing just for the summer for fun. And so I picked like 5 books that I was going to do. And then they were packed and I couldn't find them anywhere. So I just found them a couple days ago. So anything I've read hasn't been from my TBR yet. So, yeah.
Nice. I think I'm going back to a TBR for July because I just kept pulling books. I kept pulling books and putting them on a stack. And I'm like, it looks like I might need to have a TBR for the month because now I have a lot of books.
Gets a little out of control.
Mm-hmm. So what are you going to read tonight, Tiffany, and everybody else? What are you guys going to read tonight?
I'm reading Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. Finally, I feel like everyone has read this book except for me.
Not me. I haven't either. I want to, but I haven't yet.
It's really good so far. I'm probably like a third of the way through it. I am not usually into sci-fi, but I figure if someone could make me like sci-fi, it would be Brandon Sanderson. So I'm enjoying it so far. So that's what I'm reading.
Have you read any Blake Crouch?
I have not. No, I wanted to read Dark Matter and got it from the library, and then just didn't get around to it before I had to return
it. Because he is a sci-fi author. I loved Dark Matter and Recursion, both, and those are definitely sci-fi. What about Andy Weir? Did you read The Martian?
I have not read The Martian. No, I see. My thing is, I'm not really usually into sci-fi, but I'm convinced it's just because I haven't found the right sci-fi authors. I feel like I
feel like sci-fi is one of those genres that I don't ever really reach for either. But I loved The Martian. I loved Dark Matter and Recursion. I loved Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card.
I love Ender's Game too. And
that's sci-fi.
Yes, I forgot about that. I read that when my daughter was like a baby. And this is giving me Ender's Game vibes. It's like same kind of feel to me.
Ender's Game is fun. That's one of those ones back in the day when I used to go to Barnes & Noble and just start reading like first chapters of books and stuff. Ender's Game is one that I started at Barnes & Noble and I ended up buying it and bringing it home because I had to keep going with it. So I just bought like the cheapo one. I don't even own it anymore, but I did enjoy it. I think I ended up reading the rest of the series too, and I didn't care for the rest of it, but I loved the first one.
I don't think I ever got through the second book. I started it and I was like,
no, they just got weird.
Yeah.
They got very weird.
I need sci-fi light.
time travel books are technically sci-fi too.
Oh, well.
So have you read Kindred by Octavia Butler?
I haven't. That's on my TBR to read very soon.
That is a good one.
That one, and what's the one? Oh, I can't remember. It has like daughter in the title, and I can't remember what it's called. I think you've talked about it, but I can't remember what it's called or the author, so it's very not helpful. So,
it's a time travel book?
I thought it was. Maybe it's not.
Daughter.
It's like someone's daughter or something.
I don't know.
Not helpful. I'm sorry. I wish I could remember the author.
The Dream Daughter by Diane Chamberlain. Yes. Yeah.
Everyone's got it. They're all typing.
I know. Look at them all. You guys are awesome.
Yes, that's what I was talking about. That has time travel, right? Or does it not?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it did.
I mean, I feel like time travel books are kind of genre busters because they're also like as a historical element and so they don't feel like sci-fi, but it's time travel. Like that's science fiction. That doesn't happen in real life. Like
yeah.
All right, so let's see what people are reading. I've missed all the books.
Me too.
So we've got some. Oh man, you guys! I missed a lot. Books. Sorry. I know. The Lost Apothecary, The Way of Kings, Project Hail Mary, Beach Read, The Orphan Collector, Outlawed. Hi, Jen. Masterpiece. I'm going to read that in July. 84 Charing Cross Road. So good. Hi, Melinda. Sylvia, I'm glad you're here. Chicken Sisters. How are you liking the Chicken Sisters? I've heard mixed things about that one. Rhythm of War. Garment of Shadows. P.S. I Love You. And Addie Bell's Shortcut to Growing Up. I've never heard of that.
Not me either.
Sounder. Oh, that's cute. Your daughter created a challenge for you and wanted you to read a book about a dog. That's so sweet. I love that. Get the kids involved with the reading. I love it. Working on some arcs. Good for you, Amy. The Westing Game is such a fun book.
I love that one.
The Westing Game?
Yes, that's a fun one.
It is fun. From Blood and Ash, A Boy's Life, Miss Pym Disposes.
Heard good things about that one too.
Yeah. The Death of Mrs. Westaway. Oh, I hope you like it. Ruth Ware and I have a mixed path. Some of hers I like, some I don't. Because of Winn-Dixie, so sweet. Seven Husbands, Chasing Shadows. Ooh, a World War II story in the Netherlands.
Interesting.
That sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard the same that not everybody loved Recursion. I've heard like some people like one or the other. I really liked both of them. I found them both very like compelling. I didn't want to put them down. I don't know. Delivering the Truth. Prior to the Orange Tree. I have a gnat flying around. Annoying. Hey, Tara. The Indigo Girl. Okay. Big Lies in a Small Town. Oh, so good. You're not liking it that much. Okay, this is about Chicken Sisters. I heard that it was kind of a letdown for people. I ended up bringing it back to the library without reading it and took it off of my list on Book of the Month. I have a shelf of TBR ones that I want to eventually get, and I took it off the list because I heard kind of icky. Not icky, but people didn't. It was underwhelming, I think, is what it is. I'm reading 2 tonight. I'm still working on Remember. This book, you know what? I ended up rechecking it out from the library. When I went to go pick up a hold, I saw this on the new releases shelf, and my copy that I had at home from the library was very overdue. So I just rechecked out the new one and then returned the other one that was overdue. So I still have it out. But I'm more than halfway now.
Yay, progress.
Nonfiction just takes me so much longer because I don't ever sit down for hours and read it. I
need accountability for nonfiction. I get through them so much easier if I am buddy reading them with someone.
Yeah, I agree. It's just not my go-to. I usually enjoy it, and I'm learning a lot about our brains and how they work. And then I'm reading The Last Bookshop in London, which is super like about being in. It's a World War II story, so just being in London during World War II. But this girl wasn't a reader, gets a job at a bookshop, and becomes a reader. So that's kind of a fun.
Oh, I love that
twist on things. But she also volunteers with the wardens who used to walk around at nights and make sure people put up their blackout curtains, and if they saw lights, like went and yelled at people, and if the air raid sirens went off, they had to help people get to the shelters and take roll so they would know who was missing. Like, yeah, it's kind of interesting twist on a World War II story.
Interesting.
Yeah, Amy said, I just found it at a thrift store. At least it was thrifted and not purchased new. And maybe you'll be one of the ones who likes it, because I'm sure there's people who. It sounds like such a fun story, like competing food trucks, like Food Network type show. I don't know.
I haven't even heard of that one.
Oh, Kim, interesting that you're not really loving The Orphan Collector. I love it. I love it. Has anyone read P.S. I Love You? I don't know. I have not.
I have not either.
So, for those of you who don't know, Tiffany just moved like at the beginning of June.
Yep.
So moving gives you like prime opportunity to redo bookshelves, right? Because you like get to take everything off. Well, you have to, right?
Yep.
Take it all off, put them in boxes, and then redo them. So how did you decide how you want to set up your new books? Because you got new bookshelves as well, didn't you?
I did. They're right here behind me.
I saw your video where you put them all on there. It was so cool. I'm like, that makes me want to like take all my books off and start all over.
I love watching.
How did you decide?
Well, in here, this is actually like our spare bedroom, and we turned it into a library, which I've always wanted to do. So this whole wall here is bookshelves, and then I've got like another little bookshelf over that way. And so in here is pretty much just middle grade and classics, because they're kind of the prettiest ones. So they're the ones that are in here. And then I have like bookshelves on either side of my bed, which has like all my YA and more contemporary fiction and stuff. And then we have like a family room that's also, I'm a homeschool mom. It's also our homeschooling space. And so I have all of our school books back there. So
gotcha.
So they're kind of all over still, but like all the ones that we're most likely to read often are in this room. And then we've got this cozy little chair in the corner to sit and read in. So
yeah, I loved in that video because your daughter was sitting there in the chair and in the little nook. I love that you made the closet into a little reading nook type of a thing as well.
I still need to put some curtains in front of it so that way it feels a little more enclosed to her, because I think that she'll like it more that way, because it'll be like a hideout spot. So yeah.
So cute. I love it. It makes me want to, like, I'm as soon as I figure out a vehicle, I'm going to get a couple of the Billy bookshelves from IKEA that are super popular that everyone has.
That's what I wanted originally, but it was going to take like 2 months to get here. And our new place was in the middle of nowhere in the country.
Yeah.
And they were going to charge me $200 for shipping.
Yeah, shipping is ridiculous.
No, that's not worth it. So I went with instead. It's like
just over an hour away, I think. An hour and 15 minutes is my closest IKEA. So it's driving distance, but
yeah.
I only have a little car, and so does my brother. So it's not big enough to go pick it up with my car. So I need to find a friend who also wants to take a trip, who also really wants to go to IKEA, and we could do it together. But yeah. Shipping, IKEA shipping is the worst. Yeah. But when because Amanda just redid her reading room in her house too, and just got the Billy bookshelves with the extension, so it has a whole nother shelf on them.
So it's like
that is awesome. I want that. Yes. And because I have these 2 low ones, like it would be cool to replace with like 4 full tall ones. Oh, that would be so nice. And one over there for my Christian fiction, and one over on this side for my middle grade fiction.
There you go.
So really, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I really want 6 of them. I'm not going to get 6 all at once.
Good,
I'm going to start with 2, and then we'll like slowly build up. But
yes, I can't wait. You have to post a video of it too, because Amanda posting a video was like the most fun, and I was like, oh, I got to do that when I do my shelves. So that's why I did one.
I used to have a Toyota RAV4, and I miss it so much. Like it totally died, and that's why I needed to get a new vehicle. And so I went back to having a little car, and I just don't like it. I feel like I'm not a tiny girl. I just loved my big car so much. Someday. I gotta pay this one off.
Well, we still have a tiny car, but that's what we had for forever, was a little tiny Toyota Yaris, which is smaller than a Prius. Like it's so tiny. And then last year we just got a Hyundai Tucson, which is not as big as no, it is about the same size as a RAV4, I think, or maybe a tiny bit smaller. And it's like changed my life. Having an SUV is so wonderful.
I love it. I want another one someday. If I could figure out how to transfer my car payment and all that stuff. I don't know how to do any of that. I love Nicole said my first and only trip to IKEA was just to go see what the store was like. I left $800 later.
Oh, for real. I would be in trouble if I went in IKEA. Oh my goodness.
I love IKEA.
Don't you have to walk through the whole store before you can leave? Like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they totally do. Sometimes I used to live much closer to one when I lived in Massachusetts. And so you can walk through the rooms, like where they have everything set up, or you could just go through to straight to the warehouse, which is what I would do sometimes. Okay. Like if I wasn't looking for furniture, I would just go through the downstairs, but it's just an experience just to go to IKEA. And I would usually like go and get Swedish meatballs, like make a whole like excursion out of it. But that's fun. All right, we've been chatting. Let's get ready to do a sprint. And we'll go from 50. Is 20 minutes sound good to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that good with everybody? Do, I think, right? I've been doing 20. I think I started out doing 15 and it felt just a little too quick. So we'll sprint from 50 to 10. Yeah. Oh, goodness. I hate going to IKEA in person, Tara says. I get claustrophobic because I feel like I'm stuck. And you do have those Billy bookshelves, Tara, and I love them. And I think I'm going to switch to white. Like all my bookshelves now are this dark color, but I feel like having white would really brighten up this room a lot.
I love the white shelves.
The more I see them in people's videos, the more I like them. So yeah, I'm gonna make the change. I'm gonna do it.
Take the plunge, Krista.
Make the switch. I know. And I definitely, I think this room has a tall enough ceiling to do the extension.
Measure I'm just first, nervous. So you know.
Well, for sure I need to measure, and I need to see about like in my bedroom, because the ceiling in my bedroom is a little taller than in here. I don't know. I forget which room is a little taller, but I think my bedroom is actually taller. So yeah, this would be like a normal height. Like if I don't live here forever. Yeah.
Are you planning to live there forever?
No.
Nope,
not at all.
Will you stay in the same state, or will you go somewhere totally different?
Well, who knows? I joke that I've been on a 6-year plan. So the last 1, 2, 3 places that I've lived, I was there for 6 years each before I moved somewhere else.
Oh, wow.
So I've been here now 4. At the end of this summer, it will be 4 years that I've lived here. So I don't need to think about moving yet, but sometime next year I'll consider. So here's the deal though. I love the climate here in Virginia, but I haven't made, like the last 2 places I lived, I've made I've had better friendships, like in real life friendships.
Yeah.
And I love my church here, and I love where I live. I love my little house. But I don't have any I don't think I've made any friends that if I moved away, I would stay in touch with. And that's really sad to
Oh,
me.
yeah, after 4 years, it
um,
really is.
so, I mean, that's why BookTube has been a blessing because I talk to people on BookTube on a daily basis. So, like,
Yes.
it's been a huge blessing because I haven't felt the loss of that, but at the same
Right.
time, I definitely don't have a life. Like, especially because of this last year and a half or whatever, like last year and a couple months when I couldn't go out and do anything. Like, thank God for BookTube during this last year because
For real.
I wasn't doing anything. So now that things are still opening up, it's like, okay, but I don't have anything to do.
Oh.
Anyways, so yes, you guys are my friends, and I love it so much. I know. Oh, they're talking about meeting up for yarn shopping. That's funny. Um, I love it. Yeah. So that's been a little hard. So I, as much as I love Virginia, like I'm going next weekend. I'm going back to Massachusetts to see some of my buddies from the last couple of years. One of my friend's daughters graduated high school a couple
Aw.
weeks ago, and so I'm going for her graduation party and just to see everyone because I haven't seen them since like November of 2019. So I'm very
Wow.
eager. I'm very eager to go see my buddies.
I think
Oh,
that was the last
yeah,
time we went to Massachusetts too, because all my husband's family is in Massachusetts.
yeah.
So we go back usually once a year, but our trip got canceled
Where in
last year.
Massachusetts? Where
Springfield.
in Mass? Okay.
So Western Massachusetts, but
Hmm.
yep.
I just got an ice cube. Sorry, I just spit that back in my cup. That was gross.
We've all done it.
I'm going to Foxborough.
Oh, okay.
Is where I used to live, so closer to Boston on
Yep.
the
I've been
eastern
in
part of the
Foxborough
state.
before a couple
Yay!
times.
Did you
For
go
the
to a game?
Patriots. Yes.
I was gonna say, yeah. I lived there for 6 years and I never went to a game.
Football's the only sport that I used to watch. I don't really watch it anymore, but it's the only one that I actually find interesting. And hockey.
Yeah,
I don't watch
that's
them
funny.
regularly, but if the game is on, I will enjoy watching football or hockey. Other sports on TV are kind of boring to me. I just can't, I don't follow
Ah!
them as well. Like if I'm live at a
Yeah,
game, I'm going to enjoy a baseball game or a basketball game, but like watching them on TV, not really so
yeah.
much. It's more fun
No.
experientially live.
Right, right.
So,
All right, well, we've gone past our time. I got chatting because I
sorry.
miss you guys. No, that's totally fine. I was the one talking anyway. So grab your books, everybody, and or whatever it is you're working on, and let's dive in to a sprint. We're a little bit late, so it'll be an 18-minute sprint, but that's okay. We'll come back here in a few minutes. Happy reading. All right, friends. Oh, I lost Tiffany. Where did she go? Come on back, everybody. Hey, Christine, glad you're here. And Christy. Here she is. What?
I don't know what happened.
How was everybody's reading? Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? How was everybody's reading for that first sprint? Oh, this one, I started to cry a little bit.
Aww. Mine was making me laugh.
No, totally different. Yeah, I mean, World War II always makes me cry. But this young girl, kind of on her own, but bombs started to drop in their neighborhood. I guess when Germany first started bombing England, they did it constantly. Like every evening, every afternoon, bombs were falling around London. And so she's volunteering with this team of people that's helping. And it's a lot.
Can you imagine being bombed every single night? Like, I can't even imagine living like that.
No. It said that people were starting to line up outside the shelters at 8 so they could get the best spots on the wall, and staying there all night long. Oh.
I can't imagine.
Yours was making you laugh. Are you liking it?
Yes, I am. There's like a ship that the main girl finds that has like this artificial intelligence in it that is like hilarious, like really snarky and funny. Nice. So I'm enjoying it.
Very cool. Oh no, Kim, no power at your house. I'm sorry to hear that. Debbie, let the party start. Debbie's here. Oh, researching vintage candy for favors for my mom's surprise 60th. That's so fun, Jen.
Fun.
I love that idea. The parking lot attendant. Kind of digging it. Fun. Very cool. Yeah, the orphan collector is very sad. Oh, Lee, I'm glad you're here. My friend from Down Under. Just finished breakfast. Mr. Loverman. Fun. Oh. Kayla, better late than never. We've only had one sprint. You're not that late.
I'm almost always late to these. Not tonight.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, let me take off that banner. So I thought while a couple lives ago, I did a tag while we were on here together, and I'm like, Tiffany, let's do another tag together. So Rick McDonnell, I never know how to say it. I think he says McDonnell, whatever. He just posted an original tag, and he called it the In or Out book tag. So he goes through these lists of, well, there's 26 of them. We probably will not get through all 26 tonight. But he goes through these topics and tropes and bookish things, and he says, "Are you in with it? Like, is it still cool with you, or is it out? Like, you're just done with it? It's over. It's overdone, or you just don't like it, or whatever." So, in or out. So we're going to go through some of these, and you guys can tell me, is this something that's in with you or out? Okay. So the first one, reading the last page first. Who does that?
I did as a kid.
What? Did you really?
I would always read the last sentence before I started the book. I don't know why, but I don't now. I hate spoilers.
Never. I will sometimes skim ahead if it's getting later at night and I just need to know, like, if I know I'm not going to be able to stay up long enough to finish, I will sometimes skim ahead just to see how things are going to turn out, but then I go back and read it. But that's not the last page. I would never read the ending.
No,
out, totally out. And everybody else is also out with that. No way.
Yeah, I don't think a couple people have said they have done it.
Yeah.
But
Karen has done it. Yeah.
Amy says she's done it.
Out. Okay, in or out with the enemies to lovers trope. And I guess this is kind of like more a romance trope. I don't hear about enemies to lovers in other types of books, I guess.
YA has a lot of enemies to lovers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
It's almost exclusively that or love triangle in YA.
Yeah, it's true. So in or out, how do you feel about enemies to lovers?
I'm out. My favorite romance trope is actually like friends to lovers. I like that better. So I don't hate enemies to lovers. It can be well done, but it's definitely not really my jam.
The book that I'm listening to today, Christina Lauren's Soulmate Equation, has kind of an enemies to lovers, but it's not really enemies. It's just more like a wrong first impression. Like she really didn't like him at the beginning. So I don't know that you can call that enemies to lovers because they didn't really know each other that well. So I don't know. My problem with enemies to lovers is sometimes the jerk, whether that's the girl or the guy or whatever party is like sometimes their behavior isn't explained enough to make it justified that now they're in a relationship, whoever they are. So I guess I'd say out for that one too. The League. So Lindsay says the League of Extraordinary Women uses that trope and you love it. We've got a big mixed bag on this one.
Yes, definitely.
Some ins and some outs. And a couple of people have said, depending on how it's done, like if it's done well. Yeah, it depends on how much of a jerk the enemy is. I agree with that.
And if they have a good backstory as to why they're the way that they are, and you see a character arc and growth, that is different to me than someone that it's just the girl that likes the bad boy and then he breaks her heart kind of deal. Like, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Catherine, the question for this one was in or out on enemies to lovers, which we've kind of already said. Okay, the third one is love triangles, which is the other
YA trope.
YA trope.
I have read some books that I do like the love triangle, but overall it's not my favorite because it seems like a girl and two guys, and it almost seems like that is like the main part of her personality and her character growth is just her feelings for these two guys. And I feel like the main character deserves better than that.
Sure. So I guess I agree with you. Like, I don't care for it when it's the main focus.
Yeah.
Like if it just kind of happens and it's not, I don't know. I guess I'm not a big fan of love triangles either. I'm not opposed to them. I won't stop reading a book if that's a deal. Right. Like if that's part of it, but it's not my favorite.
Way. Yeah.
All right, let's do a couple more. Cracked Spines. A book with cracked spines. In or out on cracked spines?
I hate how they look, but I have to do it for a mass market paperback, or I can't read it very well.
Right, sure.
So kind of in.
I was gonna say the only mass market paperbacks I have are fantasy, and they're just usually so big that how can you? Yes. Like you can't get to those words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that are in the crease. You have to.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it.
Book.
Sure, I think I like it. I don't mind it in a mass market, but I wouldn't like it in all my other paperbacks. But I think you can't. But it's easier. Like the margins in this one are bigger. I don't know. It's easier to do it in a bigger book to not crack the spine.
Or like this one, this is a paperback, but it's like one of the floppy paperbacks, which is my favorite. That's my reading preference, is a floppy paperback. And those ones, like, it opens just fine without cracking. So if I can avoid it, I do. But if it's a mass market, I have to.
There's a mixed answers on this one too. Some in and some out. Out with cracked spine. Some people have strong feelings about it. Sometimes, sometimes it's necessary. I agree. Mass market paperbacks could be another question, and it might be. I haven't read all of these options yet. Let's see. So number 6 is back to my small town. So like that trope of somebody returning back to their hometown or their small town.
And I like that.
I like that one as well. Because
like the
usually
cozy feel.
yeah. Yeah, I like that. And I like the redemption arc that usually happens. Like usually there's some
Yes.
kind of anger or angst or reason that they wanted to get out of their town and they have to come back because grandma's dying or whatever.
Yes.
And then they usually discover or rediscover the joys of or the benefits or the contentment that they can find even in this smaller town. Because
Yes.
yeah, I think I think everybody's on the same page. In for the small town,
Yep.
returning.
Oh, Mia said out. One person said out.
That's okay. That's okay. You're all welcome here.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll do a couple more, and then at 25 we'll do another, or maybe one more, and then at 25 we'll do another sprint. Oh, this is, I guess, more. I don't know if this could be adult as well as YA. The next one is monsters are just regular people. I don't read a lot of books with monsters, so
I think the only one I've read recently was this Savage Song by Victoria Schwab.
That's what I think of right away because those are specifically called monsters.
Yeah.
Right.
And I liked it in that book, but I feel like it could very easily be like overdone and an author could like hammer you over the head with that. Because I actually didn't even like that book very much, but that aspect of the book I did like. So I don't know. I don't read a lot of monster books. I don't really like monster books typically. So
this is how I feel about this prompt too. Like,
I didn't know that was a trope.
Is that a thing? Clearly not in the books that I read. Like historical fiction, the majority of what I read being historical fiction and mystery. Like monsters just aren't in my reading life.
That's a different type of monster, right? Like Hitler.
Yeah, I guess.
There you go. There's your monster.
There you go. They're just people too. I guess you could think of it as like a villain. And I do like when you get a good story about a villain.
Yeah, the nuance.
Okay, here's question about tropes. This will be a good question. Since we're talking about tropes, are tropes the equivalent of themes, but for outside of school books? What is the definition of a trope? I'm curious about that.
I don't know what the definition is, but when I think of a trope, I think of it as almost like a plot device.
Yeah.
That is normally used. So like a theme might be kind of different because that might be kind of like what the author's trying to communicate with their work, whereas a trope is kind of a commonly used vehicle to get there kind of deal.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
The actual like Webster's dictionary, I don't know if it's Webster's dictionary, the definition says two things: a figurative or metaphorical use of a word or expression. So like he used the two Americas trope to explain how a nation free and democratic at home could act wantonly abroad. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And then a significant or recurring theme or motif.
Okay.
So it could be.
I guess it depends on how you look at it.
Okay, Lindsay, high school English teacher, how do you talk about trope versus what would you say the difference? I think of it more like a plot device too. In general, when I hear people talking about tropes, like tropes that I love or tropes that I don't love, I think of it as like specific types of plots that happen within books.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, Amy said a theme would be more like the message being sent, and a trope as a device. So that was what Amy said. So.
I loved Tiffany's definition, but Krista's Google put me back on the fence. Yeah, I like this one too. A theme is more like a message.
Yeah.
And trope is a device. Cool.
I don't know.
I don't know either. All right, well, we're going to get ready to read again. Oops, let me change that. We'll go for 20 minutes again from 25 to 45. And then we'll do a couple more in and outs. I think that's fun. Oh, Lindsay says she usually teaches kids motifs and themes. Motifs are repeated images, phrases, or metaphors that develop themes, which is the message. And trope is more elements of specific genres that you know you can expect. Yeah, I think that's
That's
true.
good.
Like you
That's
talk
very
about
good.
YA books, the two main tropes you see are enemies to lovers and
Yeah.
what was the other one? Love triangle, right?
That is a really good way of explaining it. Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah, I know. Gotta love our English teachers in here. Amy too. Also, Amy also teaches. Our teachers. We love our teachers. Thanks.
Yes, you guys are the
Thanks.
best.
All right. I am gonna continue on with this one because I had to stop in the middle of a chapter. So I might get to the end of a chapter and then pick up Remember for a little, but we'll see. Happy reading. See you back here in 20 minutes.
All right, friends. Ooh, that was an exciting sprint. We had a lot of activity in the comments.
Yeah, we sure did.
Oh, golly. Silliness. Sometimes I don't get any. And then days like today, I get a bunch. Thankfully, it wasn't like gross or rude. It was just annoying.
They're persistent.
Yes, this is true. How did it go? How did your reading go?
Good. I'm right in the middle of an action scene, so
Oh, bummer. Sorry.
it's okay.
I switched halfway through. So I finished up a chapter and then learned about the difference between regular forgetting and Alzheimer's forgetting.
Ooh, interesting.
Someone come get your kid. I love it. No joke. Isn't it your bedtime? Oh man. Well, I never count pages. I'm always impressed when people say how many people say how many pages they read.
Oh,
I
I didn't count either. I read 2.5 chapters. That's all I know.
Nice. I hope long chapters is one of these. Yes, it is. I'm out with really long chapters.
Me too.
How did everybody else's reading go for that sprint? 5% again? If you're enjoying it, Amy, just stick with it. The Prettiest Star. Oh, wow. Goes home and a man with AIDS in the 1980s who goes home to die. Wow. But that's emotional.
That sounds intense.
Yeah. 2 chapters. I blocked the foolishness too, Teresa. Thank you. Oh no, Jen. You're not sure about Out Loud, hoping it changes your mind soon. If it doesn't soon, then just let it go for now. Doesn't mean you're letting it go forever. It just means might not be the right time right now. And that's okay.
Krista's giving you permission to DNF.
I'm giving you permission. Well, hi, Sarah, but not her cousin. Welcome. So this is a live reading sprint. So we read for a little bit and then we chat for a little and then we read for a little and then we chat for a little. And most of the people here have book channels or watch book channels. This my friend Tiffany over there. She has a book channel called Beautiful Minutia. And we talk about books on YouTube. It's fun.
It's great.
Fun place. And there's hundreds, probably thousands now, I guess.
Probably.
Of book readers. Like there's a lot. Debbie, what is it? Don't leave us hanging like that. Your favorite of the year so far. That's major.
That means it'll be high up on the list by the end of the year even because it's already halfway through the year.
I know. I want to know what it is. I'm so curious. I just love hearing people say the name Kristen Lavrenstrader and also the name of the book is like Sigrid Undset. And I always just smile when people say it because it's just so different. I love it. Oh, someone else has read The Prettiest Star. Interesting.
I have never even heard of that one.
I know, me either.
That's the best part of BookTube, all the book recommendations.
BookTube is exciting. I love it.
Yes, Christy, it is. It's the best.
Okay. Oh, the one and only Ivan. Yeah.
I love the one and only Ivan. I cried so hard, but
such a good book.
Love that book.
Just realized I've been debating canceling my Disney Plus because I don't ever use it. And so I went on the other day to just see what's on there. I'm like, I can't get rid of this. There are so many things I want to watch on here. And the adaptation for the one and only Ivan is something I haven't seen yet. And I really want to see it. You got distracted by a bookmark that you'd forgotten about? Well, book mail. Book mail, not bookmark.
That makes more sense.
Makes more sense.
I was like, that's some bookmark.
Right. What kind of bookmark? I'm so curious.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it is. I've just been so impressed because you're doing a buddy read with a couple people, and I've seen them talk about. Isn't Danny? Was it Danny that's gonna read it, or Laura? I don't know. Someone was just talking about it today, and yeah, I need to. I just love hearing people say it. Just book mail, book mail. Thanks for the correction, late. I know, but then I'm like, I want to watch Hamilton again. I want to watch.
Oh, yes.
I just started while I was eating dinner. I like fluffy stuff while I'm eating, so I started High School Musical, the series.
That was so long to say High School Musical, the series.
It's really funny. It's just like that high school drama, like High School Musical, but it's about this high school,
right?
The musical.
I think I only saw like the first High School Musical movie. I was like I don't know, like a junior or a senior when it came out. So definitely I was a little old for it. And my little sister loved it. And she was at the perfect age. And I was just like, I can't do it. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah. No, I only saw the first one too. I never saw any of the rest of them.
The show would probably be cute though. I don't know. It would be, I feel like that would be really good in like a show format.
Yeah. I mean, it's silly and fluffy and like YA drama, but I love all those kind of shows. Like To All the Boys I Loved Before. I loved that adaptation. I don't know. There's a couple different ones on Netflix that are set during high school, and I think they're fun. They're cute.
I haven't seen that one. To All the Boys I've Loved Before. I haven't seen that one, but I've heard lots of good things about it. So
it's cute. Okay, let's do it in and out. We've got no paragraph breaks.
No, out.
I'm so out. DuckTales. Woo! Oh, that's funny.
Oh, I love DuckTales.
That's fun. Yeah, Ivan is based on a true story. That's makes it even more amazing.
Oh, I know.
What is that book that was like not popular but won awards or something? Ducks Newburyport, I think, last year has no paragraphs or chapters or anything. It's like
I can't deal with that.
Chunky book, and it's all just like stream of consciousness.
See, that's why the first William Faulkner I ever read was The Sound and the Fury, and the first section of that is a mentally disabled guy and his stream of consciousness, and he jumps from the past to the future without telling you. And not only is there no paragraph breaks, there's no punctuation.
No,
and I was like, oh my gosh,
no.
I only read it out of spite. I was like, I will finish this book so I can say that I've read it. But I don't do well with streams of consciousness, but even worse when there's no paragraph breaks.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
How about this?
PTSD from it.
I know, it's stressful. This one I think we're going to get mixed reviews on, but what about multi-generational sagas?
I don't know if I've actually read one of those, but I've wanted to. So I'll say tentatively in.
Okay.
Tentatively.
I've read a couple, and I don't think that I care for them that much.
Yeah, I can see that being very divided.
Get a little mixture here. There's like in and out.
Ooh,
like
there's more in than I thought there'd be.
I didn't like Pachinko, and that's a multi-generational. Oh. I liked the first like the first girl that we talked about, and then once we got into her son's life, and I just didn't care. I like dual timelines, right? But sagas are not my thing. I agree, Amy. I don't know. I just don't.
Do you think you just get too attached to those characters, and then when you move on from them, you're just like, it's just not as interesting, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I liked the story of the first girl, and then when we got to her son, I'm like, I just don't care about you. No Thornbirds. No. Yeah, I didn't love Thornbirds. That's generational. I didn't love that one.
I've heard Melissa talk about that.
I didn't like it. Not because of the generational saga, but because it's about a priest who has a thing for a young girl. And that ends up being the relation, like, spoiler.
Never mind, I won't read it.
I couldn't get behind the main relationship in the book, and
yeah, no, that's why, like, I'll never read Lolita. I have no desire to read it. Never ever. I'm like, no, thank you. That's just this is weird.
Yeah, but then I'm trying to think about like Pillars of the Earth I liked, and that has more than, I mean, we get multi-generational in that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence with that one.
Sometimes.
But more out. I have just like a little toe stuck on the in. The rest of it's out.
A little toe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, how about rereading?
In.
Or out for
Oh,
rereading?
way in, especially for like classics and middle grades. I love reading it myself and then reading it with my daughter.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
just so fun.
I think I used to reread way more before I started BookTube.
Then you hear about more books. So there's
just too many books. There's just too many books I want to read. Yeah. So I don't reread that often anymore. I like it. I mean, there are always ones that I will continue to go back to, like Chronicles of Narnia and Anne of Green Gables will always be books that I return to.
Yes, definitely.
Francine Rivers has a couple, the Mark of the Lion trilogy and Redeeming Love. I will reread those forever. But in general, like most books that I read, I don't think, oh, I'll reread this someday. Not very much. But yeah, classics and middle grade, I think, would be the two.
Yeah, I mean, I would never reread a thriller ever.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's
what's the point? Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's a lot, I feel like a lot of modern books, like contemporary fiction and stuff, I probably wouldn't really reread that. So it's got to be kind of more timeless for me, I think, to reread it multiple times. So.
Oh, Sarah just started The Mark of the Lion. Have you ever read The Mark of the Lion trilogy?
No, I haven't read any Francine Rivers at all, actually. So.
That surprises me. Why does that surprise me?
I think a lot of people think that I read more Christian fiction than I do. But I actually don't like a lot of Christian fiction.
Right.
Because it tends to be incredibly formulaic.
Sure.
And a lot of times it has very cheesy romances, and I'm not big into romance anyway.
Yeah.
So I do find some that I like occasionally, but they kind of have to be different than just like Terry Blackstock, for example, where it feels like a lot of her books are very similar. So it's got to be someone that's a little different than that usually.
I think Francine Rivers is different enough that it's worth giving her a try.
I probably should then. I'll take your recommendation. I trust your
Becca
recommendation.
from Picks Books is doing a read along of the Masterpiece by Francine Rivers. It's her newest. I haven't read it yet. In July. She started a Goodreads group to discuss it.
I have to talk to Becca.
Yeah. Mark of the Lion is a historical fiction set during like ancient Rome. Gladiators. Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
There is a romance in it, but it's not it's not like a formulaic cheesy romance whatsoever. Redeeming Love is a retelling of Hosea, who God tells to marry a prostitute. And so it's like,
I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah. I mean, there's some hard stuff in there because the little girl is like sold into prostitution when she's very young. Yeah. So there's some hard stuff in that one. But it's so good. I love Francine Rivers. There's a bunch of rereaders here.
Yay. You guys are good people.
I love it. Okay. Let's do one more and then we'll do another sprint. So, artificial intelligence.
In
or out?
In this book, at least in.
Yeah. Yes, Scarlet Thread is another one of Francine Rivers.
Oh,
it wasn't my favorite. Oh no, the Shofar Blue was not my favorite. I think I did like Scarlet Thread.
Okay.
I own almost all of her books because I really love them.
Well,
okay, what did I just say? Oh, artificial intelligence. Mm-hmm. I'm actually not a huge fan of artificial intelligence. But I love Wild Robot.
Oh my gosh, I love Wild Robot so much.
That's artificial intelligence, and that was so good.
That's one of my favorites. I also like in this one, the artificial intelligence is like really funny and snarky.
Yeah.
And so I like that in artificial intelligence. So
I'm half in and out on this one too.
Just say that for all of them.
I didn't care for. So The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I really liked that book, but that's another sci-fi that is kind of fun. But I didn't care for the AI person. What's that big YA? trilogy that has mixed media in there. It starts with an
Oh,
I.
yeah.
I can't think of the name.
I can't either, but I've heard mixed things, so I wasn't planning on reading
Yeah,
it.
the big one of the main characters in that is an artificial intelligence.
Okay. I didn't love like the Murderbot series. I didn't really like
I never
Murderbot
read
all
that.
that much. Yeah, the first one is All Systems Red, and it's a novella, and I didn't love
Yeah,
the AI in that. So, but a lot of people do. And that
Illuminate.
one, yeah.
That's what it
So,
was.
yes, Illuminate.
One. But yes, I loved Aiko in the Lunar Chronicles. That's an AI that I loved. So yeah, I'm half in, half out on this one too.
Yeah.
Mostly out with a little bit in.
Little toe again.
A little toe. All right, we'll do one more. Drop caps? What's drop caps?
Oh, I watched this part of the video. It's when the beginning of like the chapter has like that big letter to start out like the first sentence. Like a lot of times you see it in older books and it's kind of like a fancy looking letter or whatever.
It doesn't bother me.
I'm cool with it. I'll say in because
sure,
it
I'll
doesn't.
say in.
Yeah. This is like where I stopped the video right after this though. So
Okay.
but I was glad I watched that part because I was like, what the heck's a drop cap? And I had to like look it up.
There's a drop caps publishing. Are they the ones that have the alphabet rainbow alphabet books? I think that they're called drop caps. But each one has a big huge letter like embossed on the front.
Oh. Okay.
So in everybody's in. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I guess if it doesn't matter, I'm in, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. I don't think about it. But I don't. Yeah, more like indifferent. Kathleen, I'm with you.
I only notice if it's like super duper fancy. And those ones kind of sometimes they have like a picture within them that has something to do with the story. And those are cool. But other than that, I think
it is more like a classic book or some middle grade fancy ones sometimes. I don't notice it in general on other books. Maybe I just don't pay attention.
Yeah, I was looking at the book I'm reading right now. It does have, I don't even know if you can see it very well.
Oh, just one letter. Yeah, a little bit.
It's slightly bigger. So I don't know if that counts. Probably. I don't know.
I guess. Mine are not. I'm trying to think. The first sentence of these ones are all caps.
Oh.
The first line of each new chapter is all caps. It's not even a full sentence. Just the first line.
Is it bigger or just capitalized?
No, just the whole thing is like shouting. I don't know. Well, hold on.
So you get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Tiffany, you're getting darker and darker.
I know. When we do our next thing, I'm gonna turn on my light, but I can wait.
Yeah, we're gonna go at 05. So we're gonna do.
Oh yeah, I can wait 2 minutes. I might need to grab my charger too.
We'll do 05. I know. I always have to make sure I have my chargers.
Yeah, I didn't bring it in this time.
05 to 25.
There you go. Yeah.
And then we'll finish up those in and outs. I think we're getting pretty close.
Oh, good. We're making progress.
Oh no, there's 13 more. Oh. We've got time for one or two more. Oh no, yeah. Well, happy endings. In or out for happy endings?
I don't know. Both. I could be in or out because I like realistic endings, but I also sometimes am really in the mood for a happy ending. So it just kind of depends on my mood, I think.
Yeah. I'm 1000% in on a happy ending.
Yeah,
I do not ever mind when everything gets tied up in a pretty bow. Yeah. I don't mind it. Yeah. I don't like endings that leave me that are ambiguous.
Oh,
that kind of leave you hanging. I don't like that at all. I want it all to be finished.
You want closure.
I like it to be happy. I need the closure.
Yes.
In. Oh, I lost Tiffany again. Tiffany. Oh, sorry. Sorry about this. Yeah, we're doing a tag that Rick McDonald did on his channel just the other day. And so we're just talking about if you're in and out on different topics related to books. Embrace the sad. No. Oh,
okay.
on. Woo!
I turned the light on while I was waiting for to log back in.
All right, cool. So we have like 12 more, but we're going to do a reading sprint. Hopefully we don't get bombarded by the children. Oh, show. Okay. So grab your book, everybody. I don't want to make my own ending either, Veronica. I'm going to keep going with remember I switched in the middle of the last sprint. So I'm going to try to finish a chapter in this one at least.
I'm going to get my charger and then I'm going to read.
Yeah. All right. Happy reading all. See you back here in a little while.
Get out. Go. Get out. Go.
It wasn't on the computer.
Because it's delayed. It's delayed. Oh my gosh.
All right, friends. Welcome back. I just learned that sleep helps improve your memory. That's what I learned during my reading sprint.
I've noticed during the new stage of being a mom, I can't remember squat. And I think it's because you're not sleeping.
Yeah. Yep, there's a direct correlation to memory or forgetfulness and sleep or lack thereof. Kind of interesting. I'm definitely going to finish this tomorrow. I think I only have this little tiny bit left.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah. I won't finish it tonight, but I'm going to finish it tomorrow. Rainey ate a snack and watched BookTube. How did everybody else's reading go? I heard your husband come in as well. Cute.
I had to move my setup around a little bit so that way I could plug in my charger. So
Yeah. Chargers. Necessary evil. I helped my mom clean. Hey, that's important too, Mia.
You're a good daughter, Mia.
That's right. 4 chapters into Echo.
I loved Echo. That was a good one.
Me too. I was a little taken aback when I started it though, because I wasn't prepared for that slight fairy tale element.
Yeah.
It starts with. I was like, wait a minute, I thought this was a historical fiction. Did I pick up the wrong book? But it gets there. It just starts a little differently than I was expecting.
I think Esperanza Rising is my favorite Pam Munoz Ryan book, though. I loved that one.
I like both of those. Are the only 2 that I've read of hers. I have a couple other on my shelf, but yeah, I like both of those. Jen, I'm proud of you. Put it down. Come back to it another time.
Do it. Okay.
That's right. Amy, at least you're consistent. 5% each sprint.
You're at the same speed every time. I love it.
Margot's in. I don't know what she's in. I don't know what point you're at in watching this live. You might be a little behind, but you're in. I love it. I love it. Worked on your reading journal, Debbie. Nice. I need to do a little update. I try to do it towards the end of the month. I'm not there yet, but video editing is not my favorite, Christy. Yay, 500 pages and Gone with the Wind. That is a long one. That is a long one. I found the hardcover for Echo. I think mine's hardcover, yeah, at a McKay's, which is like a used bookstore, for super cheap. So I actually read it in print and have listened to snippets of it on audio. I need to go. That's one that I would like to reread and listen to the audio.
I've only read it physically too, but I've had so many people tell me I need to listen to the audio.
Yeah. I've listened to a couple snippets of the audio because so many people were saying that. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's like music and
yeah,
I think that it would be really cool. Oh no. Amy was editing a video last night and realized she deleted the wrong section. Yeah, we've all been there. I don't like editing. Ugh. Just logging. Nice. And Sarah recently bought Esperanza Rising. It is a very good one.
Yes. Yes. You need to read it, Sarah.
It is very good. Okay, let's do a couple more in and out. For those of you just joining in, let me clarify what we're doing. So there's a book tag that Rick McDonald just created called the In and Out book tag. And there are 26 topics or tropes or bookish things. And you just have to say if you're in or out with those things. Do you like them or not? So number 14 we're on. Plot points that only converge at the end.
I think
it's like a mystery does this, right?
I like when there are different plot points and they have some connection. I don't like if they only converge at the very, very end. Like if you have different points of view,
Yeah.
all comes together at the end. That's really probably not my favorite.
Yeah. I agree with that. I don't think I'm a big fan if it takes too long to get to what you know you're building up towards.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that.
Feels like too separate, you know?
Some people like it though. We've got some ins.
Got a lot of ins.
Like everybody. Oh, Gloria's an out.
I know, that's okay.
I guess, I mean, I'm so middle of the road. I'm an Enneagram 9. I want everybody to be happy. So I'm in and out.
You won't offend us, Krista. It's okay. I'll still love you no matter what your answer is.
I know. But I think about some books I don't like it, and then other books I don't mind. I like to be surprised by how things come together, and I don't mind if that's at the end. I don't know.
I do like surprises and things being revealed at the end, but I guess maybe I'm taking the question wrong because I was thinking,
so like these are two good ones. I love both of these books.
oh,
and Wonderstruck.
I
But
love
then I think of All the Light You Cannot See, We Cannot See. I thought they waited too long to bring those two storylines together.
I have an unpopular opinion by not really liking that book.
I didn't like it either. You're in good hands here because I didn't like it either. I thought the writing was beautiful for the first 100 pages, and then I'm like, okay, seriously, this book is going so long. And I thought that it was very anticlimactic. Like we were building to this big scene, and then it happened, and I was like, wait a minute, what? Like that's all we're gonna get of that? Yeah.
It didn't really seem to fit. Like, why was that there? That didn't seem like it really mattered. You know?
No.
That was just weird to me. I preferred the Nightingale. Usually someone prefers one or the other, and I loved the Nightingale.
Oh, 100%. I never heard that before, but absolutely I loved the Nightingale. Way better. Okay, let's do detailed magic systems. Okay, friends. All my fantasy reading friends. Detailed magic systems. I'm okay with a detailed magic system as long as you explain it. Like I don't have to get all of it.
Yeah, I'm in. I like when there's a magic system because then I feel like I understand it better. So
Yeah.
I have less questions.
I don't read a ton of fantasy that has magic. So, but I don't mind it when I do. We've got a big Debbie. I guess that's an out.
Yeah, I would say so.
Like Nevermore. Yeah, that's fun. Mistborn is another one that has.
I think Brandon Sanderson does a really good job with detailed magic systems where you don't feel lost.
Yeah.
Job of explaining it. So
Lee doesn't like being confused about a magic system. It spoils the story.
I'm with you there, Lee. Sometimes it can be a bit too much and it feels like it detracts from the actual plot. So I get that too.
Christy doesn't care about magic systems, but she loves Sanderson, also an Enneagram 9. I love it. All right, how about, I don't understand this one. Classic fantasy races.
So like in Lord of the Rings where there's, dwarves, orcs, elves.
Okay,
like,
sure.
Where there's a bunch of different races.
Yeah, okay. But like the classic, yeah.
I like that.
Again, I don't read a ton of.
But I do like the fantasy that I read, so it just depends. But yeah, I'm in for races.
Look at all the Enneagram 9s. Holla! That's why we get along so well. Oh, here's one. Unreliable narrators. I'm out. With unreliable narrators.
I am in if I don't know they're unreliable to start with.
No, I get so frustrated.
I like finding out that this was all hidden the whole time. I like that, but if someone recommends a book to me and it's an unreliable narrator, then that ruins the whole it spoils it, It's not a surprise.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I find it very frustrating. to not be able to trust my narrator.
I haven't read a ton of unreliable.
Yes, I agree. And when it's mainly an alcoholism, like yeah,
that's
because they drink too much.
are not like that, but I can't tell you which ones they are, or I spoil the whole story. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's often a thriller thing. And
I don't read a lot of thrillers.
to have an unreliable narrator, I feel like is a thriller trope. There we go. That's a trope for thrillers. A trope for thrillers.
Other trope, domestic violence. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why is that always part of a thriller? That's
Yeah.
not something. It's depressing.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
No, and you are in good company. There's quite a few of us here who didn't love All the Light We Cannot See. There's quite a few of us. Yeah, Woman in the Window. I think like, what is that? Girl on the Train. So many.
With a woman in a place.
Woman in Cabin 10. Or no, what? Yeah, Woman in Cabin 10. Like all those.
I read Gone Girl, but isn't Gone Girl like that too?
I think so. I don't know.
I didn't read that one. So sorry if I spoiled that for anyone because I don't even know.
Okay, let's move on from that negative attitude, Krista. Oh, evil protagonists.
Sometimes. Because I like a good nuanced villain where not everything's as black and white as you initially think it is. That there's backstory, there's a reason why they're behaving the way that they are. So in that case, I like it, but I don't know. I like a good versus evil battle. So
yeah, I can see that. And I do like when there's a good villain to hate. Like, but I agree with like I need there to be a strong enough reason to make them that way.
Yeah.
And I don't like it when they're the main. Like, usually that's a side character. So it's interesting that it says protagonist. I don't know if I've read a book with an evil protagonist. Like the main character.
Not either, honestly. I don't know.
I guess if you read a lot of horror, I don't know.
Oh, I don't really read hardly any horror.
I don't either. So the villains are always side characters for me.
Yeah, me too.
But I do like a villain that makes you feel something. Like, I don't mind feeling angry or fresh, like,
yeah.
Because I like to feel when I read. So I like the villain to be villainous enough to make me like, seriously? But what I just read a little while ago, the Star-Crossed Sisters of Tuscany. Totally not an evil protagonist situation, but some of the family members really treat one of the main characters really horribly. And then it does get explained later, but it didn't justify their behavior, I thought. And so I was really frustrated with that. Like the reasons that it gave for why they treated her that way didn't justify it. Mm-hmm. I was like, that's not a good enough reason. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. The Chosen One. In or out on a Chosen One?
I'm actually in. I like one story. That's a trope I love.
I'm okay with it. The Chosen One. I'm trying to think of examples of what that would be. I feel like so many of these go with YA.
Shadow and Bone right now, there's a good Chosen One.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Home for Unwanted Girls has some really evil nuns. Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of that one. Is that a horror?
Oh, so good. It's a historical fiction based on true events in Canada. Ooh. The government was giving more money for mental institutions as opposed to orphanages. And so a lot of orphanages just changed what they were and became mental institutions and began treating the kids like mental patients instead of orphans.
Oh my goodness.
It's horrifying.
Oh, I bet. Oof.
Based on true events to a degree, right? Like, yeah. It's such a good book. But yeah, the nuns, one of the nuns in there in particular was just awful. Yeah, agree. It made me so angry as well.
Don't know if I'd like that one.
Out. It's a tired trope of the chosen one. Yeah, Harry Potter is a chosen one for sure.
Yeah, a lot of very tired trope. I don't blame them. It is used a lot, but I usually enjoy it. So
Yeah. How about when the protagonist dies?
I actually really like that. Because I'm sick and twisted. No, I like it's because it feels like high stakes, and the high stakes are actually like realistic, especially that involves like war or something and main characters die. That feels more realistic than like everything's perfect and everyone's happy and everyone outlived through
We all survive. Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like it feels more realistic. And like you, I like books that make me feel things. So I love books that cry. I'm sick that way.
I love books that make me cry too, but not because the main character dies. I don't know.
I don't want every book to be like that, but I
Sure.
do where it takes me by surprise.
It is gutsy. It is gutsy to kill off your main character. And Sanderson, I feel like, kills off a lot of main characters.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of when I said that.
I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Sometimes. I'm okay with it in a fantasy. I feel like if I'm reading historical fiction and the main character is going to die, I'm not okay with that.
I like
it depends.
Era because that kind of like makes sense. Because if like wartime era, like the main character and their whole family makes it out okay, you're kind of like, but did you really though?
Yeah. It depends on if the book is Russian or French.
Yeah. Everyone can die if the book is Russian.
Right?
Christy knows. Or
I mean, I can't give the book that I was just thinking of because that gives away stuff. But yeah, I'm okay, I guess, with it more than I think I am. Yeah, I don't know. Sure. Really long chapters.
Nope, out. There's no good stopping points.
Why do authors continually make books with long chapters? Don't they realize?
I feel like that's common in classic books where you'll read a chapter that's like 30 pages long. And I'm like, okay, I need a good stopping point so I'm not like in the middle of a page and I forget the whole page to remember where I'm at.
I often read in my regular life, like I do on reading sprints, in 20-minute spurts. I like to be able to finish a chapter in that time period, and I can't always do that.
Oh, I think everyone is out on this.
Yeah. Everyone's out on the long chapters. The French way of dying in lit is usually more depressing to me.
I haven't read as much French as I have Russian, but I'm getting ready to read Les Mis with you guys, so...
Me too. Oh yeah, I gotta put that on my pile too. Oh my word. My July pile just keeps getting bigger.
Too.
Not bothered, but prefer shorter. If there's section breaks, okay, I can get along with section breaks.
I'm with you, Lindsay. Yeah, if there's section breaks, then it doesn't matter how long the chapter is to me. Because that's the same, it's a good stopping point, so it's the same for me.
Right. Okay, how about French flaps? I love French flaps.
What is okay.
Let me, I don't know if I have any right here. Oh yeah, here. This has one. This.
Oh yeah, I love those. Yep. And definitely in.
Mostly, I mean, they're always in paperbacks. And they have the summary on the inside here. That's a French flap. I love that too. I feel like it gives a little more, it makes it a little more higher quality. Of a book. It just instead of the ones that chop off the edge.
I don't really like
the cover doesn't go all the way across. I don't like that at all. I much prefer French flaps.
Doesn't it feel kind of lazy, like they couldn't make the whole
I don't understand. I guess they can add another color in there. I don't know. What's the
aesthetic choice, but still.
Oh man. We're gonna read again at 50. So in 5 minutes. So let's just see if we only have 4 left.
Oh, we can do
Deckled edges.
Yes, totally in. I love deckled edges.
I'm so out. I'm so out. Especially, I was trying to find sections to separate my patron book club book. I'm like, I can't flip through to find if there's like how many chapters and all that. I had to use the bottom. And I play with my books all the time when I'm reading. Like I play with the pages. I just flip, like I do different, I don't know. I don't like deckled edges. They're pretty, but I'm so out. Yeah, I agree with you, Gloria. They're pretty, but they make it harder to read. I'm not a fan.
I basically just love how they look. That's the only reason why I'm in.
Yeah, you don't put them. I just had a book. This one does have deckled edges. You don't put it on your shelf so that you can see the deckled, like you can't even see it.
That's true, but I know it's.
I don't like it. Even when I look at it. Why is that pretty? It's not. I'm out.
Old to me, and I love antique books, so maybe that's why I like it so much. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It does give it an older feel. I don't know. Some out, some in. Deckled on paperbacks only.
Oh, okay.
I like the pages too. It's like my own personal ASMR.
You should
Pretty
record
look.
a video of you just flipping.
That was not very Enneagram 9 of you. Sorry.
You did say sometimes. You like it sometimes.
That's right. Signed copies by the author.
I mean, that would be cool. I guess I'd be in, but I don't have any. So I think I would be in because that would be cool if it meant I got to meet the author.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I don't care about the book being signed. I like getting to meet the authors, and if that's the way that you get to do it. Like, I met Jesmyn Ward, so I have 2 of her books signed.
Oh.
But I don't care now that I have the book, that the book doesn't have any special. I mean, it does because it brings up that memory now, but
Yeah.
I don't go to a bookstore to buy a signed copy. Right. So only if I've seen them in person and gotten it signed. I met Bianca Murray and I have her books signed. So those are nice. I like the event, like the experience of meeting the author, but I don't care about the book being signed.
Yeah, I've never done that, so.
It's very cool.
It is.
I don't get the hype. I don't get the hype of, like, I don't know. In it of itself.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it matters, but I like now having books that I've got signed because I've gotten to meet them.
Yeah.
Long story short. Okay. Dog earring pages.
I'm out. I'm out. I don't like it. I feel like I don't know. I feel like it weakens the pages somehow. So
Yeah.
even though it probably doesn't. I used to do it all the time as a kid, but now I just reach for whatever the closest paper is. So.
Yeah, usually, but I'm okay with dog earring. It doesn't bother me.
Oh man, we got a lot of strong feelings on this.
I know. Everybody's out.
Yeah.
Rude. Rude. I won't dog ear a library book page. And I don't usually. I have so many bookmarks. So I don't usually, but every once in a while. And again, I used to do it a lot more when I was a kid, like you said.
So now you just do it out of desperation.
Out of laziness, ultimately, because I don't want to walk over into the other room to grab a bookmark from my bin.
I guess that's a good point, isn't it? You can always find something.
There's always something. But yeah, I don't mind dog earring. She's in. She's our only like strong in.
I do stay in. I've seen how you annotate your books.
Oh my word, Christy is like the queen annotator, right?
You need video on your annotating system because I've looked at that and wondered. Like, I'd love to annotate books and I don't really know.
Yeah, when she holds up a book and there's a gazillion tabs.
Yes, and I'm always
Do it.
I want to be able to do that. I do use pens, Christy. I do.
I'll also dog ear a page, yeah, if I want to remember a quote, but I don't want to write in the book, I'll dog ear the page until I can make note of the quote somewhere else because I don't have a lot of those little tabs.
I take pictures on my phone.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Okay, one more, and then we'll do there's only one more, and then we'll do a sprint.
We made it.
Chapter titles instead of numbers. Oh, instead of numbers?
I'm fine with. I don't know if I care that much. I guess
It makes it difficult if you're leading a book club and you're trying to divide out the book.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Page numbers are tricky because people have different editions.
Oh
So
yeah.
I like numbered chapters to help with that. But in general, for my own personal reading, I'm like you, I don't care.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm half and half on this one too. Depends on the purpose.
I'm sensing a theme here, Chris.
Yeah, I like both. I agree, Abigail. I'm with you and Amy. Both is sending me sticky tabs. I have some Post-its. They're just in the other room and I'm lazy. And I don't make note of quotes all that often anyway. Okay, let's do 52. Let me.
Oh, that's a good point. Amy said that sometimes chapter titles give spoilers.
Oh.
That actually is true sometimes.
Honestly, I don't think I read the titles. We're going from 53 to 13. Just because, why not?
Is that not going to bother anybody?
I know, right? Give us an extra minute to chat.
Oh.
I don't think I normally read sometimes I read chapter titles. I guess it depends on the book.
Some classic books will have the chapter title and then be like, or the chapter number and then be like, in which so-and-so does such and why are you giving me a summary before I have read this?
Yeah.
So that's like,
don't tell me what's going to happen.
Yeah, I skip it when they do that. I'm like, nope, don't want to know.
That's funny. In this book, they're reading all kinds of books. Middlemarch and Emma. Like the way that they were talking about Middlemarch makes me want to read it, and I've never had a desire to read that before.
I haven't read that. I have read Emma though. So
Emma, yeah, because this girl starts reading in the bomb shelters, or she starts talking about her book, and then they're like, "Please read it to us."
Aww.
It's a whole thing. 53 to 13, you know. The chapter titles in Kevin Hart's book are so funny. That's fun. I'm triggered by the odd time. Sorry.
Who someone would be.
Hate it when the chapter title is the first line of a chapter and I don't read the title. Oh, here's one. Oh no, it's 53.
Why do that? Oh, it's 53.
Okay. Grab your book. I'm going back to this one, even though I think I could probably finish the other one. I'm going back to this one because I don't want to end on a nonfiction. Happy reading, y'all. See you in 20. All right, friends. It's 13 after. Oh, man. Oh, hi, Amanda. Welcome. We lost a lot of people during that sprint. It's okay. We're about done. I think we should. Can you hear the fireworks?
No. I can't.
Okay, good. Because they're outside of my house, and like every night. Ugh.
It's not even that close to 4th of July. Left time.
No, it's Juneteenth.
Oh, that's cool that they're doing fireworks for that. But
I don't know if that's why they're doing them, or if there's just some people in my neighborhood that love fireworks, because it's literally every night. But we gained Amanda. Yay. I was wondering, so Amanda and anybody else who came, we've been doing the in and out thing, and while I was reading, I thought of a couple other ones that are not so fantasy related. Oh, Amanda, you can hear them?
Oh, I didn't hear them. I don't know.
It's just like pops. Oh man, it's like every night. I thought of another one, dual timelines. Are you in or out with dual timelines?
I don't love them.
Really?
Don't.
I'm 100,000% in on a dual timeline. I love it.
I think a lot of people are, but I find there's usually one timeline I really want to stick with, and I get mad when we switch.
Yeah.
I usually always like one more than the other. So
Yeah. Can you think of other bookish things that we didn't say in our list? There was another one I thought of, and I can't remember it now. Figures.
How about the resurrection trope? How do people feel about that?
What's that? Like if somebody comes back from the dead?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of that either. There are exceptions, but mostly I prefer dead people to stay dead. And not that they were secretly alive the whole time, because it really takes the punch out of the death and makes me trust the author less. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say out on resurrection trope.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I'm trying to think of some other ones.
Man, I had another one. What about you guys in the comments? Do you have any others, in or outs? Unless it's Bobby and Dallas. I never.
I love how Debbie says too much like a soap opera. This is not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other ones too. I probably could if I sat there and really.
Oh,
Christy. Untranslated swaths of various languages in them. That's not my favorite.
no, I don't like that either.
Every time, even when I'm reading like a Poirot novel, and he random little bits of like French, I'm like, I gotta look this up. You know what he's saying?
Yeah. Same. I feel like in Louise Pine's mystery series, there's a lot of French too. And every once in a while, I'm like, I don't understand what's going on.
Google Translate, like
Google. That's true. Google Translate should be. Are we speaking of War and Peace?
I want to read that book next year, so I'm going to be behind Christy on that one.
Yeah, if we're reading it digitally, Amanda says you can easily translate it.
Oh man, I need to read those books digitally then. Normally, I'm not an ebook person so much. There's another question. Ebooks, are you in or out?
I'm out.
I am too. I'm not. If it's a choice between having a like ebook to read and nothing to read, I'll take the ebook. But typically, that's my least favorite way of getting.
Mm-hmm. How about mixed media in a book? Like texting or email or newspaper article or something like that.
It probably depends on what it is, because I don't like books that have texting and email in them. But when you said newspaper article, that's different. I don't mind that in a book. So I guess it just depends what media we're talking about.
Yeah. I don't like them typically when I'm listening to an audiobook. I don't mind it in print, but I don't like it on audio because it literally reads all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I know how you feel about this, Krista, but I want to know how everyone else feels. Epistolary novels, in or out? I'm unpopular and I am way out.
Yeah.
I hate them, and I don't know why, but I do. If there's letters in, that's different, but the whole thing being in letters is just not usually my favorite. So I knew you were really in, and Amanda is too.
I do love epistolary novels.
Yeah.
Here's a funny one. Okay, wife goes missing, marriage troubles, husband is the main subject, turns out, oh, that's like a...
That's very specific.
I'm like, did somebody ask about a specific book? Because I feel like that just gave spoilers for a specific book.
Yeah, there's a book that I have
that.
a lot of, and I'm pretty sure that's it for that.
In for epistolary. I feel like I missed something here.
Just about everyone is in for epistolary. That doesn't surprise me that much. I knew I was an odd duck on that one.
How about this answer for epistolary? Oh, I don't know which one that's an answer for, but how about using your library? In or out on library?
In. Oh, so in.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy a book by an author that I've never read anything by them because like it feels like a waste of money. Unless I get it at a thrift store for like $1 or something.
Yeah.
But buy like a brand new book from a brand new author because I might hate it. And I'm not paying like $20, $30 for that. That's ridiculous.
Well, I don't pay that for any books, but I do have a problem of buying books by authors I've never read before. But I love the library for new releases.
Yes.
Because I am not going to find them at thrift stores.
That's
especially this year. I'm doing anticipated reads for the first time ever. I never pay attention to what's coming out. I usually am like the queen of the backlist. So it's been very fun to get new releases from the library and like pay attention to what's coming out. The topic was libraries. Oh, here we go. First or third person. That's not an in or out, but which is your preference?
Third person.
Yeah. Same.
Okay. My pet peeve in books, and sometimes I can get into it. Sometimes books hook me enough that I can look past it, but I really don't like first person present tense. Like I walk here and I say, like it's usually jarring and pulls me out of the story a little bit. Sometimes after I read for a little bit, I'm good, but sometimes I can't get past it at all if it's written poorly. So.
I feel like it's more the present tense that would throw me than the first person. I don't mind reading a book in first person if it's past, but a first person present tense would be weird to read, I think. But I do prefer like an omniscient, what is it? Like a narrator who knows everything and tells.
Yeah, I like that too. I find a lot of middle grade books are first person present tense.
Okay.
A lot that are like that. So
I love this, Lee. Last time I went to the library, they were so happy to see me as it freed up a lot of the reserve shelf space. Had a lot of books on reserve. I love it.
Oh, that's me too. Yeah, I have maxed out my limit before with like 50 requests. My poor librarians, because we have homeschooling too. So it's like my books, my daughter's book, homeschooling books. So we always have lots. So
yeah, I can't think of present tense books that I've read either. I'm sure I've read some, but
I feel like it's mostly middle grade. I've read a few YA like that too, though. So
like contemporary middle grade. Yeah, I don't read a lot of contemporary middle grade.
One that I just read recently was My Life with the Liars by Kayla Carter.
Okay.
She also wrote Forever or a Long, Long Time, which is about that's first person present tense also.
Oh, okay.
Able to get past it, but sometimes I just can't.
Amy says, I keep thinking whenever I read that first person present, I keep thinking, how are you writing this as this is happening?
What a prolific writer. You missed.
I love it. I got 37 books from the library yesterday. Nice.
We said either first or third, just not second. I have never read a book that is second, like a second person, unless it's like a choose your own adventure. I have never read a book like that.
you do this and you do that. Oh, well, the book You, doesn't the book You by Carolyn Kepnes, I haven't read it because it's about a serial killer.
I haven't read
From
that.
his
So,
perspective, but he says like you do this and then you do that, and he talks to you like, I don't know. Well,
yeah, I've never read a book like that. So that's interesting. Didn't know those were out there.
that's not. No, I would still say that's first person. He's just speaking to the reader as you. Second person would be like you are the character in the book, right? I don't know.
I think when it's referring to you, I think that's person. I think.
I don't know.
It could be wrong. Does anyone else have thoughts on this? Because I've never read one, so
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, Amanda said she read one in second person and she DNF'd it because she couldn't handle it. So
What was it? What was it, Amanda?
And did they say you do things, or how does that
Right?
You used?
Yeah.
I thought I knew. I'm curious now.
Yeah, using the pronoun you is second person.
Okay. Thinking, but I wasn't totally sure.
Yeah. I got myself confused too.
Where are our English teachers? Did they leave?
Yeah, he, she's third person, and I is first person. Mixed.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Oh, well, I think we're going to kind of wrap it up. We're coming up on 3 hours. So it's good time to stop. I have to go over my lesson for tomorrow for the kids. I'm teaching again. So need to do that before going to bed. Spare and Found Parts was the book. A Choose Your Own Adventure is the second person. Yeah, I used to love those when I was little, though.
Tell DNF Spare and Found Parts too. I feel like she hated it too.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Thank you, Tiffany, for joining me tonight. I love having someone here to chat with. That's kind of fun.
It was really fun. I loved it.
Yay! Being on the other side of the camera with me.
Yeah.
And if you guys have not already subscribed to Tiffany's channel, I strongly recommend you do it. She's a big classics and middle grade reader with a little of other stuff sprinkled in here and there. So a little something for everybody. So please go check out Beautiful Minutia is the name of her channel. Let's show her some subscriber love, subscriber count love by bumping her numbers. Not like it's the numbers that matter, but you guys are awesome and she's awesome. So it just seems like a good fit.
I love the chat books within the comments. That's my favorite part. So
what are your favorite videos to make? When did you start?
Like beginning of February. So
okay, not that long ago. What are your in your first 6 months, what are your favorite videos to make?
Wrap up videos, because I love to talk in depth about what I've been reading, and then on the comments who have read it too or have book suggestions based on whatever I've been reading. So
awesome.
And they're my favorite ones to watch too. Yeah.
Very cool. So yeah, please go subscribe to Tiffany. A couple people already said they did. Debbie did.
Aw, you guys are the best.
I love it. Crystal, I'm glad that you joined in for sprints. I do sprints every other weekend. I try to. Every other weekend, something similar to this. Sometimes by myself, sometimes with other people. And every once in a while, it's a game night instead of sprints. But that's not super common. But yay, thanks for participating in the In or Out and reading along with us. I hope you got some stuff done. Thank you to everybody who's watching this later. I'm glad you're here too. And that's all. We're going to go. Tiffany, you're awesome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. It was so fun.
Yay! All right. Bye, friends.
Bye.
Catch you next time.